Well, welcome back to the Hit It podcast. Super stoked to have this interview here today. Joining us in the virtual studio is Kyle, Jaden, and Damian Eade. Welcome, guys.
How's it
Thank,
going, Tyler?
thank you guys
Hey,
for
it's
having
good to
us.
be here, man. God, you guys have been traveling machines. It's fortunate for me to even have this opportunity to interview you. You were just in Australia, an amazing Moomba Masters for Jaden and Damien. I wanted to talk about first just the opportunity to travel over there and compete on the Yarra River. What was that like?
I mean, it was incredible there. I mean, the crowd, the atmosphere, and the challenges that the Yara throws at you is definitely, it's definitely way different than anything we've experienced before. And tons of fun with the whole festival there, and all of our friends being there. So such an experience to have. Yeah, growing up, hearing about it, obviously seeing dad's some of his old footage competing there, and then watching some of the old pros, it really got me excited. And everyone talks about it like it doesn't feel like any other ski site in the world. You got to deal with the current, you got to deal with some of the rollers that come out. You never know what it's going to feel like on the day. But I was just excited to be there, excited to ski against some of the best on some of the in some interesting conditions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kyle, that it's interesting. Jaden mentions that. I mean, how many years had you had competed at Moomba?
yeah. So that's for me. It was pretty emotional, to be honest. I skied maybe 20 years there from
Wow.
91 through '09. It was a lot, and that was the last time I was there. Was '09. So what's 15 years, 16 years since I'd been back, and to go back and watch the kids compete there, and sort of I told them all about it and kind of warned them about it, some of the things, I guess, and maybe that would help them out a little bit. They had a little bit of inside information about how to handle some of the stuff, but yeah, they took it on strong, and yeah, they sort of knuckled down, and you don't have to ski pretty there. You just have to get the job done, and that was kind of what they went out and did. So it was really cool to sort of see them sort of grapple with that, and because they've been brought up skiing on man-made lakes, and on a ski school that I've got or whatever. So they haven't had the same opportunities that maybe I had when I was a kid, skiing in New Zealand where the conditions are similar, a bit trickier, but they did it well. Yeah.
What was it like, Damien, when you're asking your dad about how the experience is going to be? I mean, you're trying to download as much information, maybe even going back to old ski videos and taking a look at that, but then to find yourself out there going under the bridge, going into the slalom course. I mean, I just can't imagine what that experience was like.
I mean, yeah, you can never really prepare for that event. Like, I heard all the stories about it, and like all the challenges that it comes with, like coming under that and under that bridge and figuring out your gate timing and all that stuff. But like it is so different. And once you get out there, you know, what I found real helpful was just what my dad said before when I was just go out and ski. Like we put in the hard work beforehand, just go out and enjoy it. So I tried to like kind of focus on it. Just like this is just another normal ski set. Go out, survive, ski, have some fun, and yeah, I guess that was kind of my mentality for it. But I did ask him all about it. Like, what's the crowd like? What are the views you see, and like what challenges around each buoy? And he's like, it's ever changing. The conditions, like they've said, is never the same. Each turn has got its own it's got its own challenges there, and the gate timing especially too. So
I think it was funny, Tyler, that although I sort of told these guys, I didn't want to kind of say, hey, how tough it can be, because I didn't want to to be too worried about it. But I sort of gave them a bit of a warning, and then they're like, when they came in, they're like, whoa, yeah, you weren't kidding. It's not easy. It's challenging out there.
You
Their
know,
eyes were like this big when they came in.
yeah, no, and we're going to touch on this throughout the podcast. Jaden, I wanted to ask you, it's such a unique situation to find yourself in that your brother's on the same starting dock as you, and this has been happening, throughout your ski career. But now we're starting to see this happen all the time, and we're going to touch base about the World Tournament a year ago at the U17, and then again here at Moomba. But what's it like being on the starting dock at a tournament like Moomba with your brother?
It's a pretty surreal experience to be honest. He's always been my training partner. So it's kind of like during practice, he always goes out before or after me. So he's always skiing with me. and it makes me happier too. Like when he does well, it kind of takes some of the pressure off. Like at least one of the Eads is doing well in the tournament. But no, it kind of pushes me to be better because I practice with Damien every single day, and obviously I want to compete at my best in the tournament too, just like he always seems to do.
Awesome. Yeah, I was thinking about you guys and really have been following you throughout the years, had the opportunity at junior masters, US masters. Jaden, I remember interviewing you. It's been almost a year. It's hard to believe how fast it goes.
His
Um, but I was thinking back to that U17 World Championships in Calgary, Canada. I mean, I was not there, but I saw the social media posts. I saw the big embraced hug with the iron fist as you guys, clashed in the finals there. And what a legendary thing. I wanted to start there. And it seems like from there, things are just continuing to build momentum in both of y'all's careers. But I wanted to get your perspective on that tournament.
I mean, yeah, definitely that tournament was crazy. I mean, that was both our second junior worlds, but it was especially interesting because we were both in contention to win it. So there's pressure there, but I remember before going out skiing, like I gave Jaden a hug and I was like, just good luck, go out and have some fun. So like it was, I mean, definitely pressure on that, but it was good to see. Like it was good to have like you said, we ski together each and every day. So to us, like to think of it as kind of like another ski set or just have some fun, like go out and compete against them like we do out at Fluid, just jokingly. So it's definitely tons of fun, and then to build on that in the Moomba, you coming 1 and 2 there and 1 and 2 in junior worlds. It's definitely interesting. It's something we plan on doing a bunch more for sure.
Yeah, talk to me, Kyle, a little bit about this because just a unique situation as a father. You watch them from trainer skis all the way up to skiing at these types of tournaments and now consistently taking one or two in a tournament. The best in their world right now in their age category. What does that mean to you as a dad?
Oh, I mean, I couldn't be prouder of the two boys and the way they've kind of handled situations and competed, and sort of coming up clutch when they needed to in big times. It's, I think there's a lot of families or parents around that have had a couple kids skiing and probably competing against themselves, competing each other, but usually there's a couple years dividing them. So they're at kind of a different level, So our kids, they're 12 months, 2 weeks apart. So they're pretty close. And obviously at the beginning, it was, Jaden was ahead because he was older and had been doing a bit more skiing. And then now that gap, as they get towards the top end of the sport, that gap's getting smaller and smaller. And Damien's now, catching him and got him at junior member, which I think was actually really cool. He had to take second seat at the under 17s. He skied really, really well there, put some pressure on Jaden, and Jaden went out and actually kind of laid up, I guess you'd call it, and tied him to make sure he didn't get the 1.5. So they both got the 2. Then he went out in the runoff and really kind of laid down a big score, and Damien had to try and chase that. Damien wasn't able to do it, and I felt bad that he couldn't kind of get the same accolades that Jaden got, but he's turned around, he's worked hard over the winter, and probably the hardest I've seen him work, to be honest. And he was really focused at junior member, and again, the funny thing is they tied there as well. But the way the rules work, like Jaden had a buoy and a half lead in the first round, and then Damien came out, had a buoy and a half lead in the second round. So actually, the 2 scores out of where it was tied. But the way the rules work, the final score is the one that separates it. So it went to Damien, and it was cool to see him have his moment, kind of on top of the podium, and also get through to the junior masters. That's his qualification for the junior masters. So yeah, it's as a dad, I couldn't think of anything better than watching them both go out and do well, and compete against each other. It's the last couple tournaments that we've had, big ones like the under 17s, the nationals, and then junior member have all come off really well. They've skied well, and I expect there's going to be some tournaments where one of them doesn't go that well, but lately they've been performing when they've needed to.
Amazing. Amazing. And it's not just about the podiums. Uh, you guys are some of the youngest skiers from the US ever to run 39 and a half off. And it's really interesting to have these conversations. We've had others on the podcast like Jake Abelson and some others, Erica Lang, Anna Gay, that have been in a situation as they've come through the junior ranks to kind of blend their careers between the junior and the professional levels. And I feel like in slalom, especially, once you're able to cross the threshold of 39 and a half off, now you're talking not only what you're doing as a junior, but hey, there may be a pro tournament around the corner that I want to put my entry into. Talk to us a little bit about, I guess, just adapting to that environment now that you're right there on the threshold of being a professional skier. And really, that's what we're going to see from you guys in the upcoming years.
It is a different tournament. I've competed not very many, but I've competed in a few pro tournaments. And it feels different than a normal tournament. You have the webcast going, and then you're standing on the dock with some of the biggest names in the world. So it does add a lot more pressure to your skiing. I've had my ups and downs. Mastercraft Pro is my first pro tournament. I wanted to ski a little bit better there, but it prepared me for Traverse Grand Prix, the following pro tournament. And fortunately, I was able to ski pretty decent there. I came middle of the pack, and that was pretty cool to see, like see my name up there, not at the top just yet, but hopefully soon, and see my name at least recognized with some of the biggest skiers in the world.
Yeah, well, Moomba was my first pro event, and I should have done some more last season, but it gets a little bit hard to kind of organize that between that and fishing season. So, but it was really fun to go out and ski with the pros on Moomba. It's definitely a different atmosphere because from juniors, it's like, well, if we ski our best, theoretically we should win. I mean, if we ski our best in a pro tournament, then you still got a bunch of people that are still well capable of doing that. So it's definitely a different kind of atmosphere. There is pressure with it, but I mean, at the other side, it's like it's all out there to gain. Like there's the expectations aren't there. I'm coming from a little bit farther down in the field, so it's kind of nice to go out there and at Moomba, both of us making the finals and Jaden qualifying third, which is incredible. It kind of shows that hey, we can do this too. So
I think that's really cool. Important what Damien said. Like I think in the juniors, they feel the pressure, they feel the expectations to come 1 and 2 or to do really well. You go to a pro event, there's none of that. They just got to go out and let it rip and see what happens.
Yeah.
And Jaden's had the opportunity to do that a couple of times. Like last year at the Grand Prix, like they had one of the rounds they made him start at 35, and he's like, go 35, opt up to 39. He ran it on the way back. He's like, if I miss it, so what? If I get it, he's in the hunt. And I think he finished up 10th. And then Damien did his first, pro event. And after a couple rounds on the air, sort of that practice rounds from the junior member, he was nervous through those. He sort of relaxed and kind of threw down in the pro one and ended up running 38 and getting 6th. So that was kind of cool to see.
Wow, that is really cool. And it was really cool to see you guys ski last year at US Nationals. And one of the things that was happening at that time, my boys, twin boys, they were skiing in boys one, their first ever nationals, 7 years old. And I was trying to make the sales pitch right then and there as you guys were skiing that they need to be on Conley skis. So it was a great opportunity to not only watch you ski, but to look at the gear. Talk to us a little bit about the relationship you guys
Oh,
have
the
with
sound's gone a
Conley.
little. I'm sorry, but we didn't hear you the last little bit. Yeah, I'm not clear. We're not getting the sound.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. It's just the relationship that you guys have with Conley. I pulled it up on the website the other day. We've actually had Seth Stisher on the show in the last year to talk a little bit about Conley, but it just seems to be an incredible young team of athletes. Jaden and Damon, just tell me a little bit about this Conley team, and they're skiing really, really well.
Oh, well, we absolutely love being a part of Team Connolly. It's tons of fun. The sport's been unreal, and it's cool because we get to do it with our friends. Like you said, there's a bunch of young talent coming out of Team Connolly. So Landon and Luke and Lucas, yeah, they're some of our good friends. So it's it's nice to see that, and at the photo shoots, it's always good fun. You get to mess around a bit, and yeah, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, the Team Conley support has been incredible. I remember it was around 5 years ago, like just after nationals. I wanted to be a part of one of the ski brand teams and sent some emails out, and Conley responded, and they've had my back ever since. Whether it's just new skis or new equipment, they always make sure that we are skiing to our absolute best on the best and most current equipment. Obviously, Seth being part of Team Conley, he always makes sure we're set up with the technical side, like fin settings or different skis. How this feels if you do this with your fin, or he always just gives us guidance on all the technical changes.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but I guess before they were even Team Conley, they were on a Conley. I think it was like a little F1. It was like a little 64 one, wider tail, and it was an awesome ski for the slower speeds and just for the juniors. And they just kind of transitioned out from that, and they've been on Conley ever since. And I mean, I can't think we can thank Conley enough for the support that they've put into it, and they've got a great ski, well, a great couple of skis right now, and obviously Lucas Cornell is absolutely ripping it, and he's won a pro event and showing us that junior young guys can get the job done, and these guys are seeing that and going, okay, we're on the same ski, we're not far behind, we can do it too, and they're supporting. Landon, he's got a lot of potential too. He's going to be right there and thereabouts, these next few years. So yeah, they got some really strong young skiers, and I'm hoping like your kids are seeing them on it, and hey, what's this all about? And maybe we'll give it a go too.
Well, I'm super excited about the brand of Conley because back when I was just a little kid, I remember going to a U.S. Nationals, and I mean, everybody had a Conley rocket. That's all I ever wanted was a Conley rocket, and I was never big enough at that time to have a Conley rocket, so I had to have the Junior Conley concept. So to watch how far the brand has kind of reemerged is exciting. I mean, everybody knows what Conley is, but when you take a look at the performances that you guys are putting together, Lucas Cornell's putting together, Joel Halley's putting together, this brand is really going somewhere. And I think that it's going to shake things up here in 2025. Talk to me a
Yeah,
little bit. You go ahead.
yeah. Sorry, Tyler, you broke up there a little bit, but I guess one of the things that I appreciate and why I've sort of the kids have sort of stayed with Conley is just the predictability of the skis. Like it's really user friendly. I can stick anybody on it and pretty much straight away they feel comfortable, and they can kind of move forward. You don't have to adjust things too much. It's sort of just straight into it and go. And I think that adaptability of the ski is making it versatile for so many different types of skiers.
Well, we're right at the end of March getting ready for April. And when April comes around the corner, we get ready for the U.S. Masters. Talk to us a little bit about the preparation of that tournament, the qualification of that tournament, and just how you're gearing up.
Yeah, absolutely. What we're hoping to do is kind of use the Moomba as just kind of a good little transition through to Masters. I was really happy winning Moomba that was my way into Masters. That was the qualification. If not that, I'd have to go through LCQs, and that's a little bit unpredictable because there's plenty of good talent that all tries out for the LCQs. So now I can kind of breathe a little bit easy, but we've been training really, really hard before Moomba, and so I think we're just going to try and keep with this momentum going into Masters.
I'm using Moomba. It's a little bit of a reset for my skiing. I'm actually going from a 66-inch Conley to a 67, and playing with some new fin settings. Just play around because I feel like we have a little bit of downside. We're coming off of a high from Moomba. We have a little bit of downtime to just play around and see if some technical changes will work better for our slalom styles. And that's a nice period of time. It's a really low pressure, really fun skiing, just in practice. Trying a few new ideas out with technique too. Different ways to turn my offside. But then as Master rolls around, we'll look at some of the LCQs, maybe participate against some of the best juniors in the world there, just to re-engage ourselves at the LCQs, to re-engage ourselves with like the pressure you feel like competing against all the other talented slalom skiers.
Jaden, it's really interesting to think back to 2024. I went back to that video before this interview, and you had a 39 and a half off tail that you were working. I mean, like, I thought this thing is going to go down, and it almost did. And if it did, you were going to come back at like a slight headwind 41,
Mhm.
which is always an interesting conversation from an announcer's perspective in a junior competition because your scores are right in the ballpark qualifying for the elite scores on Saturday to ultimately compete in Sunday. When you're out there, are you thinking about, hey, did I ski good enough today that I could come back tomorrow and see if I would have had a qualifying score to get into the finals on Sunday?
Obviously, it's always in the back of your mind. I try not to think about it, just to focus on what I have to do for the juniors. But after on Sunday, after I skied and won the head to head, I was thinking about my 3.5 that I had from the other day, and that actually held its own against some of the pros in the finals. I know obviously it was a bit tougher on Sunday, but that also gave me some confidence. Like, okay, I'm skiing not as good, but in the ballpark with some of the pros. And that was pretty inspiring. It was pretty cool to watch, to be honest.
Kyle, when you look at this, like now we've flipped gears to the U.S. Masters, a place that you had skied as well.
Yeah.
Um, so do you go into coaching mode on how you used to gear up back in the day, or are there some things where you're like, maybe I would have done this a little bit different, and what's your perspective on that?
I don't know. I mean, we're going from one of my favorite tournaments, the Moomba Masters, to another one of my favorite tournaments was the Masters. I mean, those are two one of my favorite events of the year, mainly because it was challenging. Like I like the sites that are a little bit unpredictable. The wind that the Masters can come across, it's a bit rolly there too. Moomba's obviously tough, so that suited me. But I mean, I mainly jumped at Masters. I think I slalomed there once when we had the overall competition, and it was not easy. So watching Jaden last year get down through 39, I was really impressed that he
Yeah.
did that part because that was way more than I ever got on that late. Because it is quite challenging. So yeah, no, I'm excited to see how they both tackle it on this year. Again, you can't just it's not all just technique. It's kind of a little bit of that grit that I like to see when I watch a slalom tournament where it's not just all picture perfect. It's a get after it and use a little bit of energy and some muscle to get through the passes and some adaptability, some sort of I liked seeing that element in slalom skiing.
Absolutely. Damien, you mentioned this at the top of the show. I've got to ask you the question. Fishing. How are you like doing fishing tournaments as well as skiing? What's going on with that?
Yes, absolutely. Fishing's one of my main passions. I absolutely love it. I've been doing it now for probably about 8 years, and then competing in tournaments for about four. It's a great way, to get out, explore nature. It's real calming, real peaceful, and it's really quite competitive too, which is fun to see. And I don't know, I love it. It's the, kind of that mystery of, what's gonna happen next. Like, I don't know, I love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you do that through like your local high school or do you do it through an organization?
So we go through an organization. There are some high schools around here that do provide, like, have a fishing team or kind of a fishing club you can go underneath. But I'm in through two organizations, like through two different trails. One's TSA, which is kind of an individual, and then one's Bass Nation, which is a team tournament. So I've had the same partner fish off my boat for this whole year, and both of which are going really well, real fun to do, and I'm enjoying it. The good news is that it doesn't clash with skiing too much. Unfortunately, last year it did. We qualified for the Bass Nation Nationals, but that was right at the time as Junior Worlds. So we opted to go to Junior Worlds instead. Because we previously committed for Team USA. Plus, I was really looking forward to Junior Worlds. So, and that fishing nationals came as a surprise, but we're definitely looking forward to hopefully getting back there this year as well.
Awesome. Awesome.
But I don't know. I don't think you want to ask him if he had to choose between skiing or fishing. I don't know which way that would go. I think fishing would top it. No, he's been doing it since he was a kid, and it's not from us. We have no idea what we're doing. Mom and dad have no idea about anything. Fishing. Gator doesn't really do much of it either. He's taught himself and got himself to national level and
Wow.
really well at state level as well. And so now, yeah, like when I'm not in the boat and in a ski boat and at the lake coaching, I'm in a fishing boat captaining these fishing tournaments.
Well, and that segues into my next question for Jaden because I know a really good water ski school that also has a fishing team. Jaden, it's my understanding that you're going to attend the University of Louisiana Monroe. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I'm very excited to attend this school. I was when we toured there in Louisiana, it was to see the campus on site and just a few minutes away from class was really pretty cool. Like, you can go in between classes almost. It's just a few minutes walks from the buildings, and it's a great site. Like me and Damien both brought our slalom skis there, and it just felt extremely nice. So, to have that opportunity to ski while also with the good college for what I'm doing, it's incredible. I'm already starting to recruit Damien for both fishing and skiing
There you
there.
go.
We'll see.
Well, as an alumni of the ski team, we are going to be so glad to have you on the team. And Damien, we hope you strongly consider making the same move the next year. It is an unbelievable experience. And for the listeners that don't know about ULM, literally you ski on the bayou, which is like a stone's throw away from campus, where, when they advertise you could go to class if you're running late in wet board shorts, you can definitely pull that off. So, you will absolutely love what we call Fun Row Monroe. You will love it there. Um, yeah.
It was
So
also inspiring to see some of the big names who have also went to that
yeah,
school. Regina Jaquez we know her pretty well, and she's an alumni of ULM, and I thought that was pretty amazing.
Not a boy. He's been there.
yeah. I don't know if I make the big name list. Here's the thing, Jaden, about ULM. I go back to a picture, of a ski team picture, 2006, I believe, and I think the majority of the 12-person team we had, I think like 8 or 9 of them were world champions.
Oh wow.
So it was Adam Sedemeyer, Natalia Bernikova, Alexei Zornicek, Ryan Dodd, Regina Jaquez. I mean, you just go down the picture, and then it's just it is such a rich history there, and the support from the school and the university. You are just absolutely going to enjoy it. And what are you going to major in? I missed that.
I'm gonna major in biology, but pursue a pre-medical degree.
Very cool. Very
Mhm.
cool. Damon, what was your thoughts, Damien, on the on
I
the on the
mean,
school?
it is, yeah, it's definitely awesome to see kind of ski site right there, and then they look up the skiers too at that school, which is kind of cool to see. Like they're definitely recognized, and the ski site felt awesome too. It was real fun to ski out there, and we do know a good amount of people on the ski team, so I mean, from my experience, it's definitely a great time, definitely good fun. So
We went up and visited Tyler, like most people do around the different colleges, and they, the whole team at ULM rolled the red carpet out, and all the looked after us for the weekend. We were up there, and the kids had a great time. They know I've got quite a few good friends on the team already. All the alumni like yourself and a bunch of other guys we've been talking to. It seems like there's a lot of resurgence in trying to get the program on strong. And obviously ULL's had a few victories the last few years, but I know you guys are like pushing hard to try and get ULM back on top.
Well, you're only a few key recruits away, and I think, Jaden, that's a great start, right? Just
Yeah,
bring
no,
all your friends. Um,
I'm excited for
Oh, we're
sure.
recruiting, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Recruiting,
we're
all right.
recruiting now too.
yeah. Well, hey guys, I wanted to talk to you about just kind of the whole season in general. What's your goals? What's your outlook here in 2025? I mean, it's already off to a huge start with Moomba. but is there any specific goals you're zeroing in on going into the summer?
Um, for slalom, I mean, it'd be awesome to see if I could get a go at going at Charlie's record. Now it's a bit of a distant, it's a bit out there, but that'd be definitely something I want to see if I can track down and make it there. Um, if not, hopefully by the end of the season. If not that, get a bunch of scores into 41, maybe learn how to turn two ball and make a play at three. So that's definitely something I'm looking forward to. I've definitely got a few jump goals too. Been a little bit back from some of my good friends in jump, so I'm looking forward to seeing if I can catch up with them. And after Moomba, I wasn't too far behind them, so it was really refreshing to see. And hopefully, if I put in some good work there, we can get all caught up. And you know, by nationals, hopefully we can get on the podium for that as well.
Yeah.
I think the next big tournament, the next big goal I'd like to achieve would be to win the junior masters. I got close last year, got to the finals, got second. Obviously skied well to the first round, second round didn't really go my way, but it just gives me motivation to ski even better there now. Some later goals for the end of the season would definitely be to get deep down 41. I've gone quite a few ones and twos as of now, so that was kind of exciting to see that 39 was becoming more and more consistent each tournament. I just have to figure out since we are left foot forward skiers, twos are offside. So even if we get a good one, the challenge really is to at 41, and you're coming to the buoy really narrow at 41. So you just have to, I guess, stay calm and remember your keys at two to hopefully turn it. And then hopefully while you get to three, I mean, it's your strong side turn. So who knows what could happen there, but definitely get down.
Well, Tyler, I mean, obviously there's a big separation between the guys that run 39 and get one or two at 41 to the guys that get three and onwards. So that's a big separation, and these guys have got through 39 a lot, and they're trying to figure out 41. But if you can get to three, like Lucas is doing now, so often, you're in finals, at any final, and you're challenging for wins. So that's I think that's both their goals, and obviously the records too. Damon's still young enough to have a crack at Charlie's record. It's a 4. It's a huge score. That guy's skied unreal, and obviously you saw him down at Junior Moomba. He's on top of the world right now, winning the Moomba. So 4 is a massive score. I know the boys 5 record in the States is 3 at 41. That's Casey Wilson. So that's, I think, another goal for both those guys.
Okay.
Tie that or further that. That's another power brother slalom duo, I guess. Brooks
That's right.
and Casey Wilson and Casey, the younger one, came through and has that boys 5 record. But that's been there for a little while, and that's a big score. That 3.
Kyle, I've asked this question a couple of times on the podcast, and we get a wide variety of responses. But when you look at 41, how do you train to get down that pass? I mean, it just seems like it kind of takes a toll on the body, but you really can't get the same look at 39, so you have to try 41s. What's your take on 41?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to work that out with the kids right now, trying to sort of teach them through it. I mean, I've seen a lot of other skiers, kind of figure it out, and I think it's sort of depending on what your strengths are with your right, left foot forward. What's your how do you capitalize on your strengths to get you into that? I think trust is a big one. For a lot of people at 41, your head's so far inside the buoy. I think people start to panic. 39, they feel comfortable. At 41, they don't know if their feet are getting around the buoy or not. So that level of trust, especially offside, like Jaden talking about, has got to be there, and that's comes with some time. So that's, I think, the biggest thing is just give them the experience, give them the time at that pass. And everybody takes their own time to sort of navigate and figure out. But if you can, especially an offside turn, then you can get deep down that pass, and we're hoping that the kids can figure that out this year. I'll be helping them as much as I can.
Very cool. Guys, I wanted to ask you, who is some of the skiers that you've looked up to? Because my guess is you're probably skiing against some right now.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously we look up to our dad as kind of one of them. You know, he's helped us through each and every step along the way. So, you know, and then seeing like through some of his tapes and of him skiing, it's definitely inspiring to see that. And um, other than that,
I think what inspires me is some of the junior skiers, Charlie Ross and Lucas Purnell. It was a long time ago when Charlie obviously ran his first 39, and I was watching the webcast on Swiss Pro, and that was really motivating to me. I must have watched that past like 100 times already. That that gave me the fire to start pushing as hard as I can for slalom in my junior career. It was just to see like someone so young and someone so close in age to achieve that great accomplishment. That was pretty amazing. That gave me so much more joy chasing that massive goal. And also and to see him do so well now, obviously he just won Moomba. So to see someone that I've like looked up to skiing juniors against to now compete and win on the pro stage is pretty phenomenal. And to see Lucas Cornell, he's obviously working things out at 41, and he's learned how to control the swing at 41 in such a short time. It's really incredible to see, and he just attacks every pass, and he's a really cool a slalom skier to watch.
Well, Tyler, you probably, I mean, you stay in tune with what's happening all year long, and you can see a bit of a changing of the guard, right? Like
Yeah.
a lot of these, the Will Ashes, Nate Smiths that have been around a long time, and that's still, I mean, dominant, right? Freddie Winter, of course, too. But last year had so many new winners, which were, on all the pro events. With, I mean, Dane Meckler picking up his first one. Then you had Corey Vaughan, you got Lucas Cornell got his one. Now we got Charlie Ross. It's like, hey, especially when these guys see that, they go, well, it's possible. It's not a closed shop. So who can get on top of the slalom door? So I think you see a few people do it, and then everyone's like, okay, it's my turn now. So it's cool to watch.
And that really was the story of 2024, Kyle. You're exactly right. I mean, it was a changing of the guard, and it was anybody's game, any weekend, anywhere in the world. We could have had a new winner. That Corey Vaughn comes to mind. That he had been just training away and got a big win. There was a few other big wins in there that it was so good to see the hard work paying off. You've gotten to witness some of this announcing from time to time with the TWBC. Talk to us a little bit about your experience there and kind of what you're seeing going into this 2025 season.
Oh, it's going to be really interesting. Yeah, I've really enjoyed my time with TWBC. Those guys do a great job, covering our sport and kind of promoting our sport. And it's really kind of driving our sport forward, and the access for people at home to be able to tune in and see some of the best footage of the top skiers in the world is phenomenal. So I try and get on there and help out Vince with his and Tony with his kind of vision as much as I can. And hey, there's no better seat. Well, you commentate the Masters. There's no better seat in the house than sitting there watching these guys right up, up close and personal, and be able to talk them through it. So yeah, no, it's this year is going to be really interesting. Last year, some new ones bought, got into the top ranks. I think it's gonna be the same this year. It's kind of like the Formula One. I watched a little bit of the Formula One racing, and that's sort of changing up a little bit too. It makes life a lot more interesting when you don't know. It could be one of 8 skiers winning. It's not just a Nate and Will show anymore, or Freddie show. It's whoever. John Travers was another one that stepped up last year.
Yeah.
But he's gonna put up some big scores this year. So yeah, it's wide open.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Damian, Jaden, and Kyle, this has been a phenomenal interview, and I want to give a handoff to you guys just to thank anybody where people could find you and obviously your sponsors.
yeah, definitely. Well, huge thanks to everyone at Connolly and PKB Action Water Sports, and definitely Steve Fluid. Without their help and without their support, we definitely couldn't be doing what we're doing and or skiing as well as we're skiing. So huge thanks to them.
I would also like to thank Jack Critchley and Regina. Jack's always out at the lake. He's always there to help us. Regina just to guide us and watch her ski, phenomenal too. They're really inspiring to, yeah, definitely Martin Baltelski. All those great skiers, to see them ski so good at ski fluid, it's like, it just pushes you to be better. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I'll reiterate. I think the cool thing that the kids have grown up around the ski school when they've been managed to been exposed to so many sort of top skiers, over the years, and it's cool to see them just kind of. To be honest, at the start when they learned to ski, I wouldn't really even coach them. They just kind of copy some of the people they see, and that's to me that's the best way to learn. And I think that's why they've improved so fast is just their exposure to so many good skiers. And I think that's what they're thanking those guys that have been in there and kind of showing them the ropes, if you like.
Well, awesome. Well, guys, this has been an incredible podcast. We are going to be cheering for you with the upcoming U.S. Masters and then every tournament that's going to follow. And I hope to see you guys not only at the Masters, but at the, I guess, bookending the season at Nationals. We'll be back out at Bakersfield.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you guys very much. This has been so fun.
Thank you, thank you.
Can't wait
Well,
to see you
thank
guys at the
you.
Masters.
Well, appreciate it, mate.
Hey, thanks, guys. And with that, we're signing off.